a death, the ultimate unknown. It tugs at us, a chilling whisper in the recesses of the mind. But what if that whisper is not fear, but longing? To some, death isn't the end, but a twisted kind of liberation. This essay delves into the heart of that unsettling desire, exploring how great minds have wrestled with existence's potential for meaninglessness. We'll journey through literature, philosophy, and the human condition itself. Fasten your seatbelts. The road is paved with existential dread. Jean-Paul Sartre, a giant of existentialism, gave us Antoine Roquentin in his novel. Antoine is adrift, crippled by the realization that the universe is utterly indifferent to him. This isn't mere sadness, it's nausea, a visceral rejection of a world devoid of inherent purpose. Sartre slams us with the idea that we are born into existence without instruction manuals, forced to invent meaning in a vacuum. This freedom to choose is terrifying, leaving many yearning for the cold embrace of oblivion. To be born is to be thrown into battle. Thus spake Émile Cioran, the philosopher of despair. He argued that true consciousness is a curse. To see the world as it truly is, fleeting, fragile, ultimately pointless, is to invite unending suffering. Cioran's bleak outlook resonates with those who feel the weight of existence too heavy to bear. For them, death becomes an escape from the unbearable clarity of a meaningless universe. Franz Kafka, master of the macabre, understood the allure of oblivion. His stories are claustrophobic nightmares populated by characters ensnared in systems they can't comprehend. Gregor Samsa, transformed into a monstrous insect becomes a stark symbol of alienation. He is utterly alone, unable to connect with a world that now finds him repulsive. Kafka's work highlights the absurdity of existence, where meaning is elusive and the individual is crushed beneath the weight of societal expectations. This feeling of being lost in the machine is not just literary fancy. Karl Marx, in his critique of capitalism, identified as a defining feature of modern life. We are cogs in a system that values profit over people, our labor stripped of meaning, our connections reduced to transactions. This alienation breeds a sense of profound isolation, pushing individuals towards the perceived peace of non-existence. Man is not made for defeat, wrote Ernest Hemingway. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Yet, in the face of a world that seems determined to grind us down, some choose death as the ultimate act of defiance. Hemingway's characters, often damaged and disillusioned, see suicide not as surrender, but as a way to reclaim agency in a life stripped of meaning. It's a bleak kind of victory, but a victory nonetheless. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher with a hammer, challenged us to confront the void. He believed that the death of God, the loss of absolute meaning, left us staring into an abyss of our own making. But this abyss, Nietzsche argued, was also a source of liberation. By embracing nihilism, by acknowledging the lack of inherent meaning, we are free to create our own values, to become Übermenschen, masters of our own destinies. But death doesn't always mean the end. Mystical traditions offer the concept of symbolic death, a shedding of the ego, a spiritual transformation. This is not literal death, but a letting go of attachments and desires. It's a journey into the unknown, a chance to be reborn into a higher state of being. This idea offers a glimmer of hope, suggesting that even in our darkest moments, the potential for renewal exists. The desire for death, whether literal or symbolic, is a thorny issue. Is it a failure of spirit, a surrender to despair? Or is it a valid response to a world that often seems determined to inflict suffering? There are no easy answers. What's crucial is to engage with this desire, to understand its roots, and to offer compassion to those who grapple with it. Perhaps by confronting the abyss within ourselves, we can find a way to live more meaningful lives, even in a universe that often seems determined to remind us of its indifference. Gap 3S. As we tread the moral tightrope of oblivion, we encounter another profound concept, Nietzsche's eternal return. Imagine living your life every moment over and over in an infinite loop. This is not a mere thought experiment, but a radical challenge to our existence. What if every decision, every joy and every sorrow were destined to repeat for all eternity? Nietzsche's idea compels us to confront our lives with brutal honesty. Are we living in a way that we would be willing to relive forever? This concept shatters the comfort of a finite existence and forces us to embrace the weight of our choices. It transforms every action into a moment of infinite significance. The eternal return demands a radical acceptance of life, with all its chaos and beauty. It pushes us to find meaning in every breath, to live with a fervor that defies the indifference of the universe. In a world where repetition is the only certainty, how would you choose to live? Would you embrace the eternal cycle, or would it drive you to despair? Nietzsche's eternal return is not just a philosophical curiosity, it is a call to live authentically, to infuse every moment with purpose and passion. As we ponder this eternal recurrence, we are invited to transform our existence, to find meaning in the endless dance of life. Gap 3. In the face of the eternal return, we can no longer afford to be passive participants in our lives. We must become the creators of our destiny, crafting a life we would be willing to relive forever and ever. To Gap 3's, as we delve deeper into the labyrinth of existence, we arrive at a pressing question. How do we find meaning in a world that often seems devoid of it? This is where existentialism steps in, a philosophy that has profoundly influenced modern thought and personal introspection. Existentialism, at its core, grapples with the essence of human freedom and the weight of our choices. It posits that life, in itself, has no inherent meaning, and it is up to each individual to create their own purpose. This idea resonates powerfully in our contemporary society, where traditional structures and beliefs are constantly being questioned and dismantled. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, we are often confronted with feelings of alienation and disconnection. The existentialist perspective urges us to face these feelings head-on, to acknowledge the absurdity of existence without succumbing to despair. It challenges us to find our own path, to create meaning through our actions, relationships and passions. One of the most influential existentialist thinkers, Jean-Paul Sartre, famously declared that existence precedes essence. This means that we are not born with a predetermined purpose. Rather, we must forge our own identity through our choices and actions. This concept is both liberating and daunting, as it places the responsibility for our lives squarely on our shoulders. In contemporary society, existentialist ideas manifest in various ways, from the pursuit of authentic living to the rejection of societal norms that stifle individuality. People are increasingly seeking to define their own existence. This can be seen in the rise of creative expression, the emphasis on mental health and self-awareness, and the growing movement towards mindfulness and intentional living. Existentialism also finds its place in the realm of technology and social media. In a digital age where we are constantly bombarded with curated images and idealized versions of life, the existentialist call to authenticity becomes even more crucial. It reminds us to look beyond the surface, to seek genuine connections and experiences that resonate with our true selves. As we navigate the complexities of modern existence, existentialism offers a guiding light. It empowers us to embrace our freedom, to take ownership of our lives, and to find meaning in the midst of chaos. It is a call to live deliberately, to infuse our days with purpose and passion, and to create a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. In the search for meaning, existentialism invites us to become the authors of our own stories. It encourages us to live with courage, to face the unknown with an open heart, and to find beauty in the journey, no matter how uncertain it may be. As we ponder these profound ideas, we are reminded that the quest for meaning is not a destination, but a continuous process of self-discovery and growth. Gap 3S. In the end, existentialism teaches us that the search for meaning is a deeply personal endeavor. It is a journey that requires us to confront our fears, to embrace our freedom, and to create a life that is uniquely our own. In a world that often feels indifferent, existentialism offers a powerful reminder that the meaning we seek is not something to be found, but something to be created every single day. Gap 3S. As we traverse the intricate web of existential thought, we arrive at a profound juncture, the contemplation of mortality. The awareness of our finite existence is a theme that echoes through the annals of existential philosophy, urging us to confront the inevitability of death and the ephemeral nature of life. In the face of mortality, we are reminded of the transient beauty of our existence. It is this very impermanence that imbues our lives with a sense of urgency and significance. The existentialist perspective teaches us that to truly embrace life, we must also embrace the reality of our eventual demise. This duality of life and death forms the bedrock of our quest for meaning. Reflecting on the themes of freedom, choice, and authenticity, we understand that our awareness of mortality compels us to live more deliberately. It prompts us to cherish each moment, to forge deeper connections, and to pursue our passions with unwavering commitment. The shadow of death serves as a stark reminder that our time is limited and that we must make the most of the days we are given. In the writings of existentialist thinkers like Albert Camus and Martin Heidegger, we find a call to live authentically in the face of the absurd. Camus' notion of the absurd hero who finds meaning in the struggle itself, and Heidegger's concept of being towards death, both inspire us to confront our mortality with courage and grace. They remind us that it is through our acceptance of death that we can fully embrace life. The contemplation of mortality also invites us to reflect on the legacy we wish to leave behind. It challenges us to consider the impact of our actions, the relationships we nurture, and the values we uphold. In this way, the awareness of death becomes a catalyst for living a life of purpose and intentionality. As we draw this exploration to a close, we are left with a profound sense of introspection. The journey through the existential landscape has illuminated the complexities of human existence, the burden of consciousness, and the search for meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. It has shown us that while life may be fraught with uncertainty and absurdity, it is also rich with potential and beauty. In embracing both life and death, we find a harmonious balance. We learn to live with a sense of wonder and gratitude, to face our fears with resilience, and to create a life that is a true reflection of our innermost selves. The existentialist call to authenticity, freedom, and self-creation resonates deeply as we navigate the ever-evolving tapestry of our existence. Gap 3S. In the end, as we ponder the mysteries of life and the certainty of death, we are reminded that our journey is uniquely our own. It is a path of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. By embracing our mortality, we unlock the profound potential to live fully and meaningfully, to find joy in the present moment, and to leave an indelible mark on the world. As we part ways, let these reflections serve as a gentle reminder to live with intention, to cherish the fleeting beauty of life, and to embrace the inevitability of death with an open heart. For it is in this delicate dance between life and death that we discover the true essence of our existence. Gap 3S. Thank you for joining us on this introspective journey. Until next time, may you find meaning and purpose in every step of your path.